Why, hello there. I'm back, and we're gonna do some more animation today. Okay, so what are we up to at the moment? 5 viewers, excellent, cool. All right, so starting up. Literally just got up. My alarm didn't go off. It was supposed to go off an hour ago, and that didn't happen. So yeah, I'm a little bit tired, but we'll see how we go. So a little update. I did do a little bit of animation yesterday. So we're gonna continue this shot. Today there will be line work and then maybe some coloring. I'll show you what I've got done so far. So first off, I actually colored in and lined the Intellion reference just so that I can have a color guide as well. And I just did some proportions. And what happened was I went ahead and just did the first bit of animation. So we turn the barriers back on and hide the purple guide. Where is it? This one. So I just did this, comes over, and that's all I did. So he essentially just jumps over the barrier and then just goes right into the dodge roll, but then I haven't gone from there, so we're gonna go from around here today. And we'll try and get all of Intellion done. And then yeah, we will get everything going. There we go. Hello everyone. Cool. Ooh, I think we got some new people as well. That's awesome. Alright. Well, let's get started. So, I'm gonna first just see where my onion skin is. And I'm also gonna hide anything that doesn't really need to be there. So, for example, I'm gonna hide, I've already forgotten its name, but we're gonna hide the little slug octopus thing. And I'm also gonna hide this barrier, just because it's not really needed. It'll just make it a little easier to see where everything's going. Also, let me know if like my mic doesn't sound right, or if the music's too loud or anything like that as well. One thing I did notice is when I was drawing him yesterday, I need to make the proportions way longer than I normally would. I think drawing him upright, it's usually not that bad, but as soon as he does anything, like a roll, or if he needs to, if he's like jumping, or in this case, diving, I just need to make the arms and the legs way longer than what I actually have in the sketch. So I'm just gonna have to keep that in mind whenever I animate as well. Okay, so because this arm is going to be the pivot point for him rolling, so like this, his arm actually stays here and then it goes underneath like that. I'm gonna have to make sure that I keep the arm in a consistent spot. So I'm gonna start by drawing the arm first, and then I'll go to the head and stuff. I'm also gonna just make that a little bit less. There we go. I haven't actually done any warm-up drawings today, so I'm going to be a little bit sketchy and undo quite a bit. It's usually not much of an issue, but it just means I'm not going to move as quite quickly as I usually do. That's fine. Okay, so that's the hand. And then I'm going to go ahead and with the head, I'll same size, roughly. Oops. Gonna just keep it very simple. And then just have the little wavy things on his back here. You know, the wavy things on his back are really fun to draw for some reason. It's not the thing I was expecting to say, because I thought they would be annoying, but no, they're actually quite fun. So, I'm enjoying the waviness of his back. Oh, we've got someone in... I don't know what language that is. But welcome, Sir Junior Lucario. And Sella, welcome Sella. And yes, this is Intellion from the hit game Sonic Adventure. How did you know? Oh, thanks, Jesus. Guys, Jesus complimented my art. Jesus loves my art style. That's amazing. Or is it Jesus? I'm not sure. But thank you. Yeah, I'm rushing through it a little bit today, just because I don't want to spend too long on each frame. But yeah, I'm just going to try and keep it as clean and as simple as possible. And just try and follow the guide as best as I can. I need him back up here. Whoa! That was not meant to happen. Alrighty. Do I have any favorite legendary Pokemon? Good question. Do I have any favorite legendary Pokemon? I kinda like Miraidon. I think I always default to just Rayquaza. Just because I never, like, I caught a Rayquaza, but I never used it. But there was this game called Pokémon Duel that it's now defunct and you can't play it, which is a shame because I actually really liked that game. It was a Pokemon mobile game called Pokemon Duel, and my first, like, legendary pull. So if you don't know, Pokemon Duel was essentially kind of like Pokemon chess in a way, but more RNG based. And essentially what would happen is you would build a team of Pokemon, and you would need to place Pokemon on top of another to sort of take over a board. If you know what Nines Men's Morris is, it's that sort of board, and it's sort of that game, where in order to win in that game, you have to move your pieces in order to surround the enemy's pieces in order to take them. But the difference was, in the Pokemon version, you could fight other Pokemon. So if you had a legendary, so if you essentially had a legendary Pokemon, their chances of attacking would be much higher. Because essentially what happens is, instead of surrounding a piece, you can knock out a piece just by, you can knock out the enemy's piece by fighting it. And then essentially what would happen is, if you had, if you fought them, you would essentially, a big randomizer wheel would come up, and then the randomizer would do different things, such as, it would do such things as do normal attack damage, but I think it worked on like a rock, paper, scissors mechanic. So if you did so each attack had a value, and then there were yellow moves, and then there were blue moves. Blue moves defended against everything, and yellow moves had special effects like stun and stuff like that, that essentially made the enemy's piece unusable. But you also had your white attacks, which were essentially just the powerful ones. Yeah, it was a fun game for the most part. But yeah, I think they just discontinued it because no one was really playing it, which is a shame, because I actually really liked that game. It was good. Pokemon Duel, look it up. Is my favorite Pokemon game Power World? Yes. I know it's a very unpopular opinion. Okay, let me just double check. I might move him up forward slightly. Oops, I did this on the wrong layer. Oh, by the way, the track in the background is from Toem. I started playing it recently, and it's very cute. I do recommend it. It is a very chill game. That's TOEM, but it's a very cute game where you just take pictures of different things and show them to people, and then you progress through the story. But yeah, it's a very cute game. Highly recommend it if you haven't checked it out yet. Alright, here we go. Okay, so I'm gonna move this across like that. What I can actually do is, he's rotating on his elbow, so I can lift his arm slightly to follow through with that motion. Also, Intellion does have 5 fingers, but I'm giving him 4 just to... I don't know, I just struggle with drawing 5 fingers. Unless it's a person, I usually just draw all my characters with 4 fingers. It's much easier that way. Yeah, there we go. Did my music stop? Or is it just quiet? It's just quiet. Okay, then. Okay. That's not a very... you know what? I'm gonna redo that hand. That looks ugly. You know what? That's all it really needs to be. Cool. I've lost my chat. There we go. Alrighty, so after that, I'm gonna do the head. I might bring it up slightly because I did not take into account his neck when he rolls, which was a little bit of my mistake. Interesting. Hang on. I've lost chat again. No. Oh, there we go. What's my experience with the Pokemon franchise? What games have I played and what games do I still have? I'm guessing on my wish list. So, I got... So I guess, first Pokemon game I played was actually the Pokemon card game. I think that was my first experience with Pokemon. Then I actually... No. Alright, technically it should be my first experience with the Pokemon franchise was with the anime. So I watched the anime a lot as a kid, but I never... So I knew quite a lot of Pokemon, but I never actually played a Pokemon game. And it wasn't until... it wasn't until a few... Like, when I was maybe 14, I think 13 or 14... I got some Pokemon cards, and I only had a really basic deck, but I played that a lot with sort of my sister and just a few friends, and that was about it. Like, it never really went anywhere beyond just that original deck, and I never ever opened very many other cards. After that, I think I got a Game Boy, but I almost never used it for anything, just because I'd never had any games on it. I grew up in Thailand, so what that meant was essentially I had 0 games to play, or like there's very few stores that ever sold Game Boy games, because by the time I got it, the Game Boy was already an old product, and there's not like a used game store or anything like that in Thailand, because they're really, really rare to find. And then when you do find them, like, game prices were very expensive. So yeah, pretty much after that, I managed to find a copy of Fire Red, so that was my very first Pokemon, like, actual Pokemon game. And then I managed to get a copy of Emerald, so that was cool as well. And then just a butt ton of Pokemon mobile games after that. So, one of my biggest time sinks was Pokemon Duel, but again, can't play that anymore, so that's a shame. What else did I play? Yeah, pretty much, what else did I play? Yeah, other than that, it was pretty much just that for the longest time. And then, do the best animators come from Thailand? I'm not sure if I know very many other animators that are from Thailand. well. But yeah, so essentially, that's what I had for the longest time, and then after Emerald, oh no, I did play Mystery Dungeon as well, but that was on my Android, or very legal copy of Nintendo Android. And what else did I do? I think after that I just didn't have very much Pokemon knowledge until I got to until I moved to Australia. Then I bought myself a Switch, and then that same year Pokemon Sword and Shield came out, and then yep, so I played Pokemon Sword and Shield. So I went from essentially Emerald straight to Sword and Shield, and you know, it was fine for the time. It had its problems, but I was just happy to play another Pokemon game that wasn't like, that wasn't 8-bit, because I had never played a 3D Pokemon game up to that point, or a 3D, like a proper 3D Pokemon game. So yeah, and then after that, hang on, let me just double check. Can you make his arms even longer? Probably can. I think this is actually a bit too big, so I'm going to shrink him a little bit. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so pretty much, Sword and Shield, and then after Sword and Shield, it was pretty much every other Pokemon game that came out after that. So like, yeah, it's not a, so yeah, I tried to get into the competitive Pokemon scene from Sword and Shield, but I just could not. There was just too many things coming out, or too many things I didn't understand, and too many things to keep track of that I feel like the problem with Pokemon is they don't really explain things like EVs and types and what they call it? Like the behaviors and stuff very well. So I had to just look it up, but it's mostly just reading, which I'm not a huge fan of that type of stuff. I don't know. I think it's really impressive for people who do memorize all the types. I still need a type chart whenever I play Pokemon. I'm that bad. But yeah, for people who do know like what EVs and what the secret abilities are and what the passive abilities are, you're great. But I just can't remember them, gonna be honest. And yeah. Okay, cool. Let me just double check. What Pokemon would you want as your partner? Goodra. Like, Goodra's my favorite Pokemon. I don't really want to be a Goodra per se, but I do really like how Goodra looks, and I would love a Goodra as a partner. It'd be a pain to clean up, but honestly, the Goodra just looks so happy. If not, then maybe a Dragonite, because maybe a Dragonite would be a little bit more practical than a Goodra. I just want a fun Pokemon to have around me that's always going to be happy. I'm too quiet. Okay, let me, hang on. I'll bring my mic a bit closer. You know what? I'm going to remove my pop filter. Maybe that'll make me a little bit louder. Okay, there we go. Water onyx. Would that be Gyarados? Or is there actually a water? Is the crystal onyx a thing, or is that just an anime thing? I actually still don't know. Ah, it's just an anime thing. That's sad. Okay. Let me see if I can fix my mic. Give me one sec. Okay. Try that. Sorry about it. I have a lav mic, but for some reason it just didn't work yesterday. So I'm using my recording mic, but I've set it up for recording and I usually have it quite low. So I can... Because I need to talk very close into the mic. So I keep forgetting to reset the properties. But I don't want to have to go through all of that because the, what's it called? Just the program. It's just a pain to use and set up. Okay, cool. The speakers just blew up for a second. That's fine. Okay. I think that's good. I think I made his fins a little too big. Need to concentrate on this one. Okay, there we go. Alright, now I gotta do an in-between. So, I'm just gonna quickly adjust some proportions, like that. Okay, now I can do the in-between. Yep. Alright, cool. So I'm gonna draw in one extra frame here just so I can get a guide reference. Maths. Am I solving for X? No, I'm not gonna do maths right now. I'm already doing too much hard maths in my head of how I'm actually supposed to do this shot. Okay, so leg needs to go here. So I'll have the leg come up like this. And then plant down. Big Brush hates maths confirmed. Yeah, honestly. I'm good at maths, I just can't do it in my head. I can solve equations pretty okay, just... I'm the kind of guy who knows that Billy weighs 125 kilograms and has half a sister. Okay, I'm gonna change this up. I think I'll make him look a little bit lanky. So I'm going to go a little bit quiet while I work this out. I might actually have to do 2 in-betweens. Yeah, otherwise it's not going to work very well. There we go. Okay, I'm happy with that. Alright, back to line art. Cool, did I miss anything? Okay, just more complaints about maths. That's fair. I was decent at math at school, but I just never liked the subject. As long as it's not a subject where you have to remember things, I'm good. I'm terrible at remembering. Like, if I have to remember what parts of a body does, or what, like, the parts of a plant is, so, like, biology, then I usually fail. If it's things like physics or maths where it's just solving equations, at least it makes sense to me. and I can do them relatively okay. But when it's anything to do with remembering, I just can't. I just failed at school. All of those things. Alright, that's a little bit too big. I'm just gonna close that in. There we go. Apart from bio, I was not interested in that. That's like the one subject that actually kept me interested because I always had something new to learn to review every day. That's fair. I understand. I understand that. Like, I guess maths can be... If you've got a good teacher, then they can make maths interesting. Like, they can make maths very interesting. And when I think... If you're solving... If they give you examples of, like, real life... real life uses. So, for example, in statistics, if you're trying to, like... if you're trying to, like, if they're giving you an equation that's, like, for, okay, maybe bad example, maybe not statistics, I'm not in statistics, what else would be, okay, renovations, for example, say, for example, that, you're renovating your house, or you're renovating your kitchen, and you need to figure out how much space you will need for a cupboard, and how much area and how much square meters of tiles you would need to buy. Yeah, I would enjoy that because it's a real life thing that's happening, and like it's a practical subject. But I feel like when you're doing things like statistics, or I'm bringing up statistics again. If you're doing something like statistics, or if you're doing like things that aren't really necessary to you, like, okay, like when are you gonna ever learn to do a graph? Like, sometimes you'll need to, and there's a lot of cases where you do need to learn how graphs work, but with most, actually no, graphs is not a good example. Graphs are used everywhere. I can't think of a... This is what I'm saying. I can't think of what the bad math subjects are because they never stuck with me. Clearly the best subject is going home. No, the best subject was PE by far. Freaking loved PE. Working with percentages like inflation, deflation. Yeah, I guess, yeah, for most people that probably wouldn't be. Yeah, okay, I think what's happened is, so if my volume spikes, I think it's because my speakers keep dying, and what happens is they reset each time it happens. You know what, I'm gonna try and change my audio channel, and hopefully the volume won't... Okay, I think it keeps resetting. Alright, let me try something first. Alright, I'm gonna try changing my audio channel. Give me one sec. I need to find a cable. Alright, I'm back. Give me 1 second. I'm just gonna set up my new mic. And then I think we should be good. Hopefully. Hopefully no more audio cutouts. Oh gosh, that did not work at all. Alright, give me 1 more sec. Alright. Okay, I think I fixed it. Hopefully no more audio cutouts. I am going to lower the volume of the music on my side and then increase it on your side. Okay, there we go. Whew, alright. What's my opinion on the French? If you asked me a few days ago, I would have said we would be schooling them in the Olympics, but currently we're not. They're somehow above us. But I am very proud of Australia at the Olympics at the moment. 3rd place, ahead of the US, which is all that really matters to me. The French cuisine. Oh. I really like French bakery products, but I don't know if I've actually properly had French food. Gonna be honest. I don't know. I think of like France, and I just think of like the bakery stuff. So baguettes, and all the breads and stuff like that, which I really love bread. So I would happily eat all of those. I don't know what other French food it is, gonna be honest. There's not a lot of French... there's not a lot of French food that I'm familiar with. Besides escargot, but I've never had that. Nor do I really want to try it. Oh, awesome, Apple Burst. Enjoy your book. I'll just be chilling out here and just listening to some tunes, just vibing and stressing my mind out while I draw Intellion doing a backflip. Yeah, I am a bird, so bread does make sense. I eat all the bread. Although one thing I don't understand this. Actually, no, that's not true. Never mind. I was gonna say, I don't really like breads with filling. Okay, if it's a cake with filling, that makes sense. But if I think it's for bread with filling, then I don't like it. But I think I meant to say, I don't like breads with sweet fillings. I think if it's a savory filling, like a spinach bread or something like that, then I will usually go for something like that. How do I tend to relax or unwind from stress? Good question. Multiple ways, I guess. Sometimes you just let it sit and fester. But other times, and what I should do more often, I guess, sleeping and just, it's unhealthy, but just sort of like sitting in bed and just listening to like calming music, or for me, it's more the sound of rain. I just like to have some rain sounds in the background and just sort of rest with my eyes open or closed, depending on how I feel. Sometimes I just drift off and then I wake up at like 10 p.m. at night. I'm like, oh, I haven't even had dinner yet. Oops. Otherwise, I've really gotten into Balatro, which has sort of also been stress relieving in a way, as it's like a very, it's fun, but it's very, it's not intense. It's not an intense game. It's a very calming game. At least for me it is. It used to be Inscription, but Inscription got way too easy. Yeah, Inscription was my calming game. And it's supposed to be a horror game. No, I liked Inscription, but I sort of completed it and did everything that was... Oh, cool, it's raining. Excellent. It's very, very sunny and bright today, which is excellent for me. Because today I have to have... I'm hosting a barbecue dinner at my house. And if it was raining, I would have been very upset. But no, I'm glad it's nice and sunny today. And also it's nice and warm, which is good, because it's usually not very warm. Now at times it's very cold here. What other ways do I unwind from stress? Sometimes I just watch, like, not new movie. Oh, no, I have to watch movies that are new. Are not new. Sorry. So, yeah, watching a movie. Cooking. Oh, cooking is a big one for me. Whenever I just need to step away from something, I will cook. So I like cooking, I don't like baking for some reason. So anything that the majority of the time it stays in the oven, I don't enjoy. It needs to be on the stove or the barbecue for me. Or as we say in Australia, the barbie. So, yeah. What am I making? Oh, what do I do? What do I usually cook? Italian cuisine is like one of my favorite things to cook. Mostly anything with tomato base. But I do like cream and mushrooms a lot. So creamy mushroom pasta is like one of my favorites. I like to do some sort of, what do they call it? I like to make like pasta bakes, and I know I said I didn't like baking, but half of the process is on the stove, and the bake part is just melting the cheese essentially. I like to do pasta bakes with gnocchi. A lot of it is my own recipe. I like making Indian food, surprisingly, just because it's a long process to make Indian food, but the results are amazing. I love butter chicken. Yeah. You maybe like a paella. Oh, I hate seafood. Actually, I'm allergic to prawns, or shrimp. So, yeah, probably no seafood for me. It's strange though, because I can't have prawns, but there are a few exceptions to seafood that I like, which I don't quite understand myself. So, hello Frosty. So, like, What do I say? Okay, so my I majority do not like any cooked seafood. So I've tried pretty much every seafood, and if one of my family members ever gets seafood, I will always ask to try it again just to see if I like it. Almost never. That being said, there are a few exceptions. So I like takoyaki. Which if you don't know what that is, it's a Japanese potato bowl with octopus inside of it. I don't know why. I don't like octopus on its own, but for some reason when it's mashed in or when it's in a bowl of potato, I just like it. It's very nice. And I will happily eat takoyaki. In fact, I can't if it's any other type of takoyaki, there was a place in Thailand that I went called Pai, and they had ham and cheese takoyaki, and I had it and I thought it was the worst thing I've ever had. But the problem was, I also got the octopus one, and the octopus one was way better. I'm like, okay, I can't have this with anything but octopus. So that's one thing where I will eat seafood. Other one is I like sashimi, but specifically trout and salmon. I do not like tuna sashimi. Something about the flavor and the texture of tuna just doesn't quite sit right with me. But for some reason, I will happily eat salmon sashimi, and I don't know why. Same with cured salmon. I like that for some reason. But I won't ever have like cooked salmon. And I'll have smoked salmon as well. Yeah. Yes, I am a raw fish enjoyer. But no, yeah, cooked seafood I just don't like for some reason. But my favorite sushi is avocado and salmon, so there's that. Wow, Resh actually saying something that Resh said something that Cap said that's based. My goodness, that's a first. Okay, something does not look right. Oh, the arm's a bit too low. Let me move that up. Oops. So I'm gonna stretch out Intellion's head a little bit here. And also have his arms almost come in together, but not quite. Oh, sorry, his hands come in together, but not quite. So they're still sort of in this motion. I forgot I need to add the fin here. Here we go. Okay. Gosh, the tail will be fun to animate. Okay, I'm actually going to shrink down his lower half slightly. Something more like that. There we go. You're learning more from my streams than your class of animation. That's good to hear. Oh yeah, so Furdo, the timeline up here. This is your timeline. This blue thing's your scrubber. You go ahead and it plays the animation as it as it appears and as the thing goes here. So you're working in 24 FPS. I'm working on 2s and 3s at the moment. You almost never want to go on 1s just because 1s are for very, very quick motions, and you would always just... And... Yeah, so when you're animating, you almost never want to go on ones unless the motion is incredibly fast. But yeah, so with your timeline, you always want to work in around 2s and 3s. Just note that whenever you work in 2s, you're actually animating on 12 frames per second. If you're 3s, you're working in 6? No, hang on. Crap. I can't maths. Is it 6? Yeah, it's 6. So you're going to be working in 6 frames per second on 3s. No, hang on. I can't remember, actually. Oh, why am I so bad at maths? Anyway. So, yeah, you're going to be working on 12, and then if you're just going on 3s, it's going to be... I can't remember, but anyway. 4s is 12. No. I've lost my train of thought. Anyway, depending on your speed of the animation. Okay, you don't need to actually animate every single pose that the character's in. You just need to have strong key poses. So the key poses are essentially what I'm doing here. So I'm not doing the smoothest animation in the world at the moment, just because I'm really accentuating what the key poses of the animation are. So in this case, alright, so here's a good example. In this frame here, this is a 1. So I did this one, and it's literally just him going down, just Intellion going down very slightly, just because it's a very quick motion. Just know that, like, I'm doing a little bit of anticipation here. I'm having him go down, and then having him shoot up really quickly, as the start of the motion is going to be the fastest part of the movement. And I'm just going to have him resting up here for 2 frames. And then down. I do use smear frames. I do smear frames sort of in the anime style, where I sort of use, like, lines. I occasionally, like, smear the whole body, but I prefer to do, like... speed line type smears. So here's another one here for really fast motions. I think it just looks nicer. Like, you can do, like, elongated body parts, but I think I prefer the sort of sketchy look of when things move fast. That's just me. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is... Hello Skittles, welcome to the stream. I'm going to go ahead... Oops. I want that back, and I want that back. Okay, so I'm going to just clean up this animation a little bit. Another pro tip, if you are... yeah. Instead of redrawing each frame, the anime industry will kill you for this, by the way. What you can do is you can just duplicate your frames slightly and just move them across, and then it'll just add an automatic follow through for you, so you don't have to actually animate every single frame. The anime industry hates this and will make you redraw every frame twice for your easing and ease out, just because they're very traditional, and it makes it look really nice because it makes it look more hand-drawn. And so I get it, but if you're just in solo animator, you can just go ahead and use skews and cuts, because it'll just make your life so much easier and you don't have to redraw every single frame. So yeah, don't be afraid to copy and paste your frames. But again, if you've got a strong key pose, you can just duplicate it over to the next frame and then just skew it very slightly. You can either skew it in or out, depending on what the motion is. In this one, I'm going to have him sort of overshoot his motion, so he's going out and then back in. And then, because I want him to be quite snappy, I'm only going to have him do it for 1 frame. But if he was slower, I would have extended the frames and maybe done 1 more where he's just going back even more slight. So, for example, if I wanted him to just go back even more, like that. so it's a little more, so he goes back into place a little more easily. But because I want him to be quite snappy, I'm just gonna have him do that, because I don't want him to go, I don't want him to snap back too fast. Oh, thanks, Ferdo. The one thing I can appreciate with the anime industry is they're very consistent with their drawings. I am not. Like, I appreciate the anime industry, just the way the workflow, the way they do their workflow is very interesting. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and... Ooh, okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and add some smears now. So I like to do my smears after I animate the thing, just because it helps me see where the motion is. So for example, this one, I can see that the leg moves up quite a bit, so I'm going to go ahead and add a little smear here, like this. Same with this leg. This leg's going to go from being completely off screen to up here, so I'm going to add some smear lines here. And this one is a duplicated frame, so I don't need to add anything here. Now, I've already added a little bit of a smear here, but I'm just going to go ahead and make that a bit bigger, like that. Okay, and then lastly, I'm just going to have a very small smear just right here. And everywhere else, I'm just going to add a very small smear just here and there, just because he's doing his superhero landing. Now, the only thing I do not like about doing these smears is it just makes coloring a little bit of an extra effort. Oh, here's another one. So, for example, this one, I only skewed him slightly to the left to get him started on his jump. Alright, this one's going to need a very big smear because it's a big motion. Especially on the arms. And then I'm actually going to move this forward slightly. And I'm going to have this go up a bit more. And then just a bit on the legs here. Alright, almost done. Okay, because this is a massive movement from over here, I'm going to actually get rid of this entire leg and replace it with one giant sort of spherical sphere. Like that. And then one more here. Okay. And with that, I think we've got our animation done. Let's have a look. Cool. Okay. I'm just gonna watch through that one more time. Okay, I think I'm gonna have him overshoot a little bit more to the front, and I might just add one more frame of him easing backwards as well. Yep, okay. I might make it a little bit faster though. So I'm going to change that to one frame, and I'm going to make him roll a little bit faster. See how that looks. Okay, he looks a little bit floppy, so I'm just going to move some frames around here. There we go. All right. I like that. That's good. Cool. Done. All right. And that's Intellion doing a little hop and roll. Cool. All right. What is going on in the chat? I would eat a tatsugiri. I don't know if I would eat a tatsugiri. It's still got eyes, and I feel a little bit bad for it. I think maybe that's why I also don't like eating octopus. If I can see the whole thing, or like baby octopus, if I can see the whole thing, then I just feel bad for eating it. Like I'm not a vegan and I'm not a vegetarian. I love meat, but I feel like if I can see the whole thing, then I just feel a little bit bad for it. Thinking about animating in the future. That's awesome, Blade. Yeah, animating is a great skill to have. It teaches you a lot about just how physics work and how it makes you look at the world differently. I'll tell you that way. Because, yeah, it's a great skill to learn. Do I use small frames? Yeah, I got that one. So working on ones is for fast speed, on two for more normal speed, and thirds for slow movement. Not always. I would work on ones if you want a very smooth looking animation. There's always you can always just mix up what you want to work on. Generally speaking, yes. If you want to work on ones for fast, twos for more normal speed, and threes for slow, and thirds for slow, you can. But depending on what you want your action to be. So if it's a very small motion as well, you can also just work on ones, just because if you want that smoothness. If you can use a very fast movement and work on twos. For example, pretty much the entire Lucario versus Anubis fight was done on twos. Just know that if you work on ones, you don't need to do as many smear frames. If you do too many smear frames, then the smear frames almost become part of the body. If you work on twos, you've got less frames to work with, and therefore you need to accentuate what the movements are more clearer, and that's when you add smear frames. And thirds generally is kept for very normal motions, just because thirds does make things a little bit too slow. So I would not really work in thirds unless, yes, you're doing it in slow movements or movements that you really need to accentuate the keyframes on. Gex and Intellion. True. So snappy and fun. So much personality. Thank you, Appleburst. Let's see. What have we got? Bullying, arguing. Cool. Animation to the future. This is going to be very helpful. Videos plays, because this is actually good tips. Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad I could help out. So many messages. Yep. Yeah. Join the Discord server in the description. I'm always there. Photo and Cap are also there, and they like to bully each other. So yeah, if you guys want to go ahead and show them who's boss and bully them a little bit, feel free to do that. I'm not going to time out Cap this time. Frames hurt my brain. Yeah, they do. Just stick with 24 for now. You'll find that you know what? Even 12 is fine. If you animate at 12 or 15 frames, you can get a very good solid animation out of that. My tablet can't run on 12 FPS. That's okay. 12 is the cap. Keep 12. Keep 12 at your limit. I think anything under 12 is a little bit slow. That's okay. Again, with frame rates, the slower your frame rate, the more you have to accentuate your key poses. So have less smear frames and have more key poses. Because the keyframes are only really there to just help the movement, help sell the movement. But if you've got very limited frames, having a very strong key pose is the most important thing. If you want a good example, there was a video. 12 is the cap, the limit of how is the minimum amount of frames you should need. You don't need to go over. Oh well. I can't speak today. All right. So what I might actually do is I might go ahead and do the cape and tail. All right. I just noticed something else that I don't like. I don't like that his head is so straight on. I want him to tilt a bit more. So I'm actually going to go ahead. Fair. When editing a video, that's different because, so, like, high frame rates for videos, I would say stick to 30 and above, just because it's not extra work for you to make something 60 FPS, 30 FPS. So if you're doing something like that, then go ahead with 30 and 60 FPS. Just when animating, frame rate is your least, should be the least of your concerns. Have I considered doing tutorials? Yes, I do want to do tutorials at some point. I might do it on like a secondary channel. Okay, what is happening over here? Oh, I see. Did I do this right? I don't think he's supposed to... Hang on. I think I messed up. There's not supposed to be another frame here. That's why it looked weird. Oh. Yes, I do want to do animation tutorials in the future. You know what? I don't need this frame. Okay, I just need to figure out what's going on with the hand. There we go. There we go. Okay. Yes, I have considered doing animation tutorials in the future. My main problem with that at the moment is I don't really want to do the tutorial in Adobe Animate. Like, as good as Adobe Animate is, I think just with currently what's going on with Adobe, I don't really want to give a tutorial centered in Adobe Animate. So I'm thinking I might actually move to a different program like Clip Studio Paint or something to teach the basics of animation. And then for puppet animation, I might move to a program like Moho to do something like that, because there's different types of animation. But with frame by frame, I'm thinking I might move to like CSP or something. Because all the fundamentals that I teach are not specific to Adobe Animate. Okay. And with that, I think... Yeah, that's much nicer. Okie day. I turn into Jar Jar Binks there for a second. That's fine. Alright, I'm going to just increase the size of Intellion just a little bit here. Oop. Oops. All right. Cool. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do the tail now. If you have animate, I think yes. If you don't have animate, don't pay full price for it, just because I don't think it's worth, what is it now, $80 a month, 90 Aussie. Yeah, I don't recommend, okay, here's the thing. If you have a copy of Animate and you're not paying anything for it, use it. It's a good software to start learning and teaching you the basics. If you don't have it, there are plenty of other programs you can use that are just as good as it and just as powerful, and will teach you all you need to learn as a basics, and will teach you all the basics that you need to learn, without you needing to spend $80 to $90 a month. So Flipper Clip, Clip Studio Paint, and if you've got Procreate, you can usually just use Procreate as well. If you've got an iPad, those will teach you pretty much everything you need to know about animation. Even though they're not specifically for animation, just going ahead and just trying something with them is always good. And when you start, if you have not animated anything in your entire life, a lot of people say do a bouncing ball, do this and that. I would actually recommend you actually do particle animation first. So I'll show you what that looks like just in case. So if you've never animated before, some people go do a bouncing ball, they'll teach you how to do squash and stretch, they'll do blah 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 blah. You can do a bouncing ball if you want, or you can start off by doing particle animation. So essentially what that is you just get a blob, and then all you really do is you just go frame by frame and you just draw some particles. Don't need to be pretty. And then if you want them to make a shape, you can actually go like, ooh. Ooh. And this will teach you how to speed up, slow down, and it will teach you how to get the feel of animation. And like just in a few seconds I can create that. And then you go ahead and you can do it another one. Maybe this time, let's go a triangle. And then I want the triangle to speed up, so it's going to stretch out like this. Boom, it's going to go up. And it's going to slow down again. So the triangle's going to go back to being a little bit shorter. And it's going to go down like this. Yep, and then this one you can do on ones, just because it's quite an easy process. And then yeah, this will just teach you the basics of getting your shapes correct. And if it doesn't look right, that's fine. You can go ahead and do another one. This time I want this one to sort of come towards the camera and then go away. So I'm going to have a little blob go here, and then I'm going to have it go tiny, and then I'm going to have it grow and get bigger, and get even bigger, and then even bigger, and then it's going to go zoom past the camera, and it's going to be off frame for a bit, and it's going to come back around this way. And all you're sort of doing is you're just drawing these little blobs on essentially invisible lines that only you can see and you can path. Whoopsies. Okay, maybe not that one. But yeah, it's just a very chill process, and you don't really need to do anything. And this will teach you just how to do all types of effects and how to get your animations looking smooth. And it's a very just basic process that you can do. And it looks nice. Like, it's very satisfying to watch. So yeah, like, this is an exercise that I like to get people to do because it's really fun. It's really simple. You're not and then if you want to go ahead, do a bouncing ball, you can do that. I also recommend trying doing a bouncing cube. And then lastly, do a stick figure animation. Stick figures are so fun, so easy. You can make them fight, you can make them get injured. Unleash your inner destructiveness and just break his back. But yeah, pretty much just do all of that and then animate blood. Blood is so much fun. If you don't have a blood phobia, as long as you don't have a blood phobia, then maybe don't do blood. But yeah, if you want to just animate blood, blood is so much fun to animate because it's pretty much just this. Like, if you want to do blood, you just need the start point, and he goes, and then you just got blood going everywhere, and then you just sort of break that up into smaller particles that you can then follow through with, like this, and then yeah, and yeah, it's just fun. It's just fun stuff that you can do. So yeah, just enjoy the first process. Yeah, if you don't want to do blood, don't worry. You don't have to do blood. You can do a stickman stepping in water, and then having the water splash out. That's another. Yeah, blood is fun to animate. Blood is one of the funnest things to animate. But yeah, if you just want to do a stickman throwing a cup of water, then you can animate the liquids flowing out of the cup. Animating liquids is fun. While we're talking about blood, blood is one of the best things you can animate just because it teaches you about fluidity and effects animation. If you don't like blood, then you can do like a stickman stepping in a puddle, or you can do throwing a glass of water, or spilling a drink. And yeah, liquids is just so much fun to animate. What was I doing? It's tail. Alright, so Intellion's got a bit of a weird tail, so this one might take a little bit of a process, because I've never actually animated something quite... what's the word? Swirly. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to break this up into two parts, so I won't go ahead and animate the tail straight away. What I'm going to do first is I'm just going to go ahead and grab... Oops, I've still got a big brush. I'm just going to essentially draw the line that I want the tail to follow. And then I might do the tail on a separate layer just to make things easier for me. I'm going to turn on my onion skin. Alright, catch you later, Resh. He's probably already gone, but say goodbye anyway. Okay, I might have his tail sort of squash here. There is no Resh Bonk here. Wait, can I add emotes? I don't know how to add custom emotes. I think that's a thing you can do? Yeah, I'll figure it out later. Alright, bye Skittles. Oh wait, no. Skittles are saying bye to Resh. Whoops. Okay. Purple YouTube. Yeah, maybe. I don't know if I'll go to Twitch. I've got an audience here already. Maybe I'll do it in the future, but we'll see. I'm not planning on streaming too often either. Okay. So we'll go that, and then I have no clue. Is Intellion's tail stiff, or is it like more flowy? I actually don't know. Because at the moment, I'm making it a little stiff. Your brain is animating. Interesting. Like your brain is making things move. Okay, let's see how this looks. Okay. I don't know how I feel about this tail. Usually I like to have the tails quite flowy, but... hang on. This one, I'm not sure if it would work or not. Because it's a bit rounder than usual. The way you animate me thinks you should say, I am the big brush animations. What do you mean, I am the big brush animations? Why would I be anyone else? Okay. So, almost done. I'm just gonna have the tail sort of... I want it to go into that position at the end, so... Alright, cool. Well, I guess I will say I am the big brush animations. I love the part where big brush says it's big brushing time. It's big brush animating time. Oh yeah, boys, it is big brush animating time. Okay. I am the animation. Yeah, that'll do. It's not the nicest, but... it works. I might remove some unnecessary frames, though. There we go. Yeah, Intellion does look like he's in a jumpsuit. He always looks like he's in a jumpsuit, though. He's just got that weird, funky design. Okay, let's... When a photo says, I am the timeline, that was epic. might actually replace that one more frame here. Shoop. Okay, cool. Yay, let's go. All right, tail time. Let's go. All right. So I'm gonna. Is this the same line width? Yeah, it is. Okay. Not the nicest. If you went for the nicest, it would take you exceptionally longer. It might. Sometimes I can just get it right first time. Other times, I need to experiment a little bit. But the main thing is I just want it to make sure it flows nicely. Because I feel like when animation doesn't flow nicely, or if there's a frame that feels like it's a little out of place, then that's when I need to redraw it. Thankfully, this is not the hardest tail to animate until I get to the swirly bit on the end, because that one's going to be a little bit difficult. Okay. It's coming out this way, so this actually needs to go this way. And what I'm also gonna just just gonna make Intellion a little bit transparent, so I can just see where I'm drawing. Okay, yeah, that's close enough. Oh, I need to add the blue line as well. That'll be another job for another day. Okay. No, that's incorrect. What am I doing? Okay, and then see... I might be able to cheat. Oh, congratulations on getting to master 1400. I haven't come across very many Intellions in Unite, so... Like, besides playing Intellion myself... Oh no, they'll usually use the water gun. Or not the water gun. What's it? Like the pistol one? Instead of the sniping one. But I personally love the sniping one. So whenever I play Intellion, which is not usually, but I'll usually play it just for fun, I always go for the sniping build. I don't know, sniping is so much fun in games. Like, you don't get kills, but it's so satisfying to just land a shot. And landing the shot is what matters most. Oops. Liquidation, that's the one. Okay. Yeah. I guess you also, for any of the Pokemon that require a decent aiming skill, you do need to have good ping. Sometimes I play Unite with my Discord server, and I am at like 300 ping plus. So any move that I make will take roughly a quarter of a century to come out. And then by that time, they've probably already killed me. So that's always fun. Ooh, this one's a little funky. There we go. All right, cool. You died in a bot match. Okay. It's okay. I die in bot matches all the time as well. I sort of just turned my brain off, and then I realized, oh, they've got Rayquaza. Oh, okay. I guess we've lost. It's because you play with other people overseas. It is overseas. I think they've got dedicated Asian servers, because whenever I play by myself, I will always generally play with either Japanese or Chinese. No, not Chinese, because Chinese have their own version. I will play with usually Japanese / Korean players, so there are Asia servers. But because I think everyone in my Discord is over on the North American side or European side, the lag is just way, way worse. Almost done. Yeah. I think with most games, Japan is probably... Japan is a big consumer of games, so it makes sense for them to make it there. To make their servers there. Yeah. Like, usually... I don't know how it works, but like some games are like, oh yes, the best servers for Australia is the North American servers. Or the NA servers. And then sometimes it's like, no, you gotta join the Japan servers. I'm like, I don't mind joining either, but which one? And sometimes they have roughly the same ping, and sometimes they just bleh. But anyway. Whatever makes my game run fastest, I guess. Do I remember my worst match in Unite? Was it the one I recently played? Or are you just asking in general what was my worst match? I feel like all my matches are pretty bad. Okay, you know what? I think that's the tail done? Let's double check. Oh Oh, my worst match in general. No, I feel like I've had too many bad matches. Just any match where my teammates just don't do anything or I'm just in a really bad position. Just the worst matches. But I usually tend to blame myself because, yeah, I don't know. I can't change how my teammates play, but I can always change how I play. So I always tend to just blame myself in those situations of, okay, I should have done something different. Even if I couldn't, there's probably something I could have done to make it better. Okay, I'm not a huge fan of this tail yet, so I'm gonna fix this up slightly. I've just had too many matches go south really quickly. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna swap these two tails around. Had a game where you carried the whole team, stole Ray, and KO 3 members of their team, died, and then none of my teammates scored. Oh no. Actually, the best play I had was I managed to win the game for my team as is it Comfey? What's the dandelion one? I can't remember its name. The name's not coming to me. But anyway. No, not Comfey. Oh, dang it. What's its name? I can't remember its name. It's not Comfey. What is it? Eldegoss. Yes. So I played Eldegoss, and I was supporting the entire match. Some stupid reason, my entire team decided to kill themselves just as Rayquaza was coming up, and I'm like, okay, it's over. So I decided as a Hail Mary, I would just use my ult and then just hit Rayquaza with the ult. Somehow that killed Rayquaza. And then all my teammates spawned on point, and I'm like, well, good. And then everyone scored, and then we won. And that was just some kind of miracle. By some miracle, I managed to win us the game, and I have no clue how I did it, nor will I ever be able to replicate it. I think Hooper is a really fun character in terms of like design. And, like, taking people back to base to heal up is a really funny idea, and I like that. Okay. You know what? I'm not gonna do the cape for now. I'm gonna go ahead and start coloring because I'm excited, and I wanna get coloring already. Alright, let's get to coloring in this boy. I'm just gonna make sure he's got all of his collars. Okay. Oops. So here's a fun little game I like to play called Where Are the Gaps? Occasionally when you're animating, you'll just have these very tiny invisible gaps that you just don't know where they are, and you have to find them in order to fill your image. Okay, there's a gap here somewhere. There it is. Oops. Everyone plays defenders. That sounds fun. I love playing goats, but in Pokémon Unite. Whoops. Alright, I can kind of turn my brain off now, so when I'm animating or just coloring in, I can turn my brain off because it's not actually taking any brain power to color. You're just clicking. But yeah, if you have any questions, please ask them now, because I don't have to think. And jungle invasion with only defenders. Oh my gosh. I have no idea if that would even work. Sounds like fun. Let's do it. Whoops. I'm not going to color in his arm. Just go here. There we go. Nice. I'm going to have to join you guys for more Unite sessions. Just got to find the time when I'm not animating. Okay, let's see. Alright, that's all that blue. Okay, this is where I'm gonna get confused. Okay, so that's black, and that's black. That's not supposed to be black. There we go. Nope. There. Alright, cool. Yeah, let's go suffer together. I love Unite. It's my favorite game of all time. I love getting no kills. Alright, cool. What else? Getting all 6 stacks in the first 2 minutes of match is so much fun. Yeah. I'm just really bad at coordinating stacks. I can't do them quite. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but maybe it's the lag. I can never get my first stacks. I can never get my first stacks anywhere close to the first minute. I always have to suffer for a little bit. Where's the hole? Oh, sorry, where's the gap? Do you think a good sticker for the Discord server will be in the animation using right now? Yes, probably. I do want to have a when the ho-ho when I get a voice for ho-ho and when I get a voice for Absol arguing, then I can start animating those two arguing, and then that'll be a nice sticker to have. I don't know if I'll do. I might have Intellion as an emote, but yeah, I'm trying to move away from more Pokemon related ones. I'll do a few more just for the Unite Experience 3. But I think after that, I'm gonna hold off on doing some emotes for the time being. And then I'll do one of Umbreon, because there's gonna be an Umbreon in this animation. And I'll do one, what else? I think we've got plenty of Lucario ones, but I don't know if we'll have, I might have one more Lucario one that I'll do. And then, yeah, we'll see how we go. But yeah, this one will be fun. Also, I'm gonna try and get this whole animation done within about 2 weeks, because I do want to move on to the next one. So we'll see how that goes. But it's looking good so far. I'm not gonna put too much effort into, not too much effort, but I'm not gonna put as much time as I would usually do into an animation. I'm gonna try and speed run this one, just so I can get some more animations out this year. Oh yeah, my bird character. So I'm actually gonna update him for the next video, I should say, because I think he's starting to look a little bit. He looks alright, but I want to give him a little bit more shape. So I might update his shape on the next video, give him a few extra features, just change his body shape around just to make him look a little bit more distinct. Because I've made him over a year ago now, so it's probably time for a little makeover. And then in the future, someone can make the evolution of Jumbi in his videos. Yeah, I'll wait till the animation's done, and then I think everyone can go ahead and start picking out what their favorite emotes are, and I'll add those to the Discord. And then I'll see if I can figure out how they work on YouTube as well. I think you might need to become members, but I'll see if I can figure out a way to do it differently. Otherwise, I might just move to Twitch. We'll see. Alright, I'm just going to do the blue and the yellow at the same time, just so I can get everything out of the way. My coloring process is not... there's no process that I follow directly each time. It's just whatever I feel like. Which, in this case, I just feel like doing the blues and the yellows for now. I missed a spot. Give him a big mustache. Look, if I had a mustache IRL, I would, but I am just unable to grow facial hair. And I don't know if my character would benefit. I don't know if a bird character would benefit from having a mustache or not. I'm not forgetting the eyes. I'll do them last just because they're a two-step process. I'll fill in the whites, but the orange that I'm using for the whites is sort of its own color. But yeah. Oops. You know what? He should have his eye open, this one. Wait, these are supposed to be blue. There we go. Oops, saving. Okay. Alright. So, let's finish this off, and then we'll see how we go. What time is it? It's almost 1. Okay, so... we'll see how I go. I might be able to do up to the... Celigore getting shot, and then I might have to call it there, because I've got a few things I need to do before. Yeah, I got a few things to do before I head off. Okay. So. Whoops. So I'm going to try and get this coloring done as quick as possible, and then we'll move on to the shooty shoots. Something doesn't look right. Yeah, I'll figure it out later. Whoops. So, have you guys been watching the Olympics lately? Are you guys sports head or not? I'm assuming most of you probably aren't. If you're joining this channel because of the animation, you're probably not watching the Olympics, but might as well ask. I will say I am honestly very surprised with Australia. Olympics. Senor doesn't even know what the Olympics are. Oh, what am I doing? I keep getting distracted with other colors. Okay. You have not been watching Olympics. That's fine. You don't need to. They're just sports, I guess. But my family's quite athletic, so they like to watch the Olympics, especially my grandparents, who are very big tennis heads. They love to watch their tennis, and yeah, I'm very interested to watch breakdancing. There's going to be breakdancing this year, which is a new sport that I'm like, okay, that's kind of funny. And then the dancers are not allowed to know what music. I've been watching more the Venezuela situation. I don't know what the Venezuela situation is. Right. Yeah, I just find it funny that there's now an Olympic sport where you literally just break it down for someone, get points, and you're not even allowed to pick your music. The music is completely random. So it's entirely freestyle breakdancing, and you get points on it. Okie doke. Let's... No, wait. No, that's correct. Oh, these leg blue patterns are very confusing to me for some reason. Okay. Whoops, sorry, I hit my microphone. Whoops, why is he all that color? Yeah, Olympics is a bit of a weird way to spell the word. Because it's... is it Greek? Wait, no, hang on. Yeah, it was a Roman sport. I actually can't remember where the Olympics started. That was a... Never mind. Okay, Oh, that's it. Cool. Alright. You know what? Just since we're got about an hour left, I'm gonna just go ahead and start animating the next part. I'll worry about coloring later, since coloring is a little bit boring to watch. Alright, so. Go back to the frame where his leg goes straight up, like this one. It's a bit of a smear. Is the color in the wrong spot? It might be. Yes, it is. It is in the wrong spot. Thanks for pointing that out. There we go. Alright, cool. Now it's in the right spot. Alright. So he's gonna look around. I won't do that for now. Just because, excuse me. I won't do the eyes looking around for now. I'm just gonna go straight into the pointing a gun at his head, or pointing his finger at his head. Okay, so, You know what? I might actually have to move these barriers a little bit. Okay, what I'll do is I'll move him over here for now, just so there's a little bit more room for him, and then I'll I might need to extend these barriers a little bit this way. Okay, so I'll show you something cool I can do. Oh, I can't do that. Rip. Okay, you know what? I can probably cheat. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab this, turn it into another symbol. I'm gonna grab this frame. And do a little this. Do some sneaky editing. Alright, cool. I'm going to turn that into another symbol. And then I'm going to make a mask. simply grabbing this bit, masking that, and there we go. I've digitally extended. Okay, I may need to add a little bit more over here. How does that look? It's a little bit better. Yeah, that's good. Alright, cool. Yay! And now I've made the barrier a little bit bigger. And closed it off. Hello, Weekend Warrior. Welcome to the stream. We are going to animate the Intellion shooting the Exceligor, I think it's called. I can't remember. I don't know how to pronounce its name or what its name even is. But yeah, we're going to do that. And then I think we'll be good. Thanks. Thank you. I'm glad you like my work. Alright. Cool. So, let's go ahead. And what I might do is, because I want this to be a really quick and snappy action, I'm just going to go ahead and do the final frame first. So, the pivot is actually going to be on this foot. Usually it would be on this elbow, but it's not elbow. What's it called? Knee. But I'm going to have the knee sort of move across like this. And so the pivot is, so the weight is going to be on this foot. So currently I'm using Adobe Animate to do all my animation. I'm trying to move away from it. I'm going to be using Moho, but I'm still learning it. So at the moment I'm just going to keep all my animation on Adobe Animate. But yeah, this is Adobe Animate. Okay, so I'm just gonna move the arm up, as I want the hand to be pointing directly at his face. Excuse me. Oop, okay, hang on. I'm gonna move him down. Oh no! Oh no, that's correct. Never mind. Oh, this is on a computer, so I'm animating on a graphics tablet. The tablet is a XP Pen 22 Pro, I believe it's called. Oh, hang on. Alright, goodbye, Photo. Thanks for moderating. I'll catch you later. This. You have a gammon. I don't know what a gammon is. Wait, is it a Hammond or a gammon? I don't know what either of those are. Alright, well, I'm going to be finished very soon, so I think after I animate this, I think we'll be done for today. But yeah. I'm just going to quickly... Oh, not quickly. I'm just going to show you the process of just animating this turnaround, and then I think we'll be good. Bro, Photo's art, I mean, come on. It's terrible. Oh dear, hang on. What did I draw this on? Uh-oh, I messed up. Okay. Now we're back. Critter. Critter's a good program. I think you can animate with Critter. I've never actually tried animating with like a quote-unquote art program before. Besides Clip Studio Paint. But I did know someone who did try and animate using Critter, and they said it was a good experience. So you're gonna have to tell me how it is, because honestly, I've never tried it. It's hard, yeah. Is it like layer animation? Where you have to flick between layers to do the animation? Yes, yeah, I don't like that style. Critter's animation is broken. Oh dear. Yeah, unfortunately, there's not very many programs that are like Animate, unfortunately. There's nothing that's quite as simple to use. Alright, have a good one, Senor. Senor J. See you later. It also crashes a lot. Oh dear. I thought Critter was like a free program that was like pretty heavily praised for how good it ran. It's your pen. Maybe it's worth looking into getting a new tablet. I've never actually heard of... Hang on, what did you say the brand was? I've never actually heard of that brand. Gaomon. I've never actually heard of the Gaomon tablets before. Interesting. They look very similar to XP Pen. Or Huawei, I should say. No, not Huawei. What's it called? Huion. Interesting. Oh well. I always kind of do my research. You only use your fingers. Like the sensitivity is really hard. Adobe Fresco. Interesting. My sister uses Fresco. I've never tried Fresco, so I actually have no clue what that's like. Yeah. Like yeah, I know with a lot of beginner animators, a lot of people say like that your hardware's not. A lot of the hardware's like your hardware's not strong enough or something like that. And yeah, I get it. Like, yeah, like animating with bad hardware, I've been there. I had to animate with a crappy Windows XP computer for the first 2 years of my animation journey. So my dad had a computer with Windows XP on it that could barely run any programs at all. And it was like his really old computer before he upgraded to a new one, and he gave me his old one. And yeah, that's how I learned animation. And I pretty much just used Adobe Animate and Photoshop to create my animations. But nowadays you guys have like FlipperClip. I don't know if FlipperClip should be like a very, very low. I keep shilling for FlipperClip because it's like it's really easy to just use it to animate very simple and fun and just enjoy actually animating and just getting used to the process. It's great for that. Oops, sorry. Yeah. You've been drawing it 6 months. That's impressive. Yeah, I can't animate with my fingers. Oh, I can't even draw with just my fingers. But getting used to sensitivity is something that you change. You can sometimes. I think with most programs, you should be able to adjust your sensitivity, like your pen sensitivity, and things like that. Because I know, like, with every tablet that I've owned, there's always been a window with an option to essentially be able to change your sensitivity options. But yeah, I know some tablets can just be built really badly. I'm just gonna focus down a little bit because this one's a little hard to animate. Might add a few more frames here. Okay, I think that's good. Oh. Alright, see ya, Blade. Thanks for joining the stream. Alright, so I think... Yep, I like that. So, I'm just gonna quickly line this in, but yeah, I can talk now because I'm not concentrating anymore. Welcome to the stream, Skiploom. We're just animating Intellion turning around at the moment, and then doing a little bit of a shooty shoot. So I'm gonna draw Intellion from the front view now. It's gonna look a little bit funny. Cool. Front views usually look good. Yeah, I think especially on birds and lizards, they can look a little bit funky from the front, but makes them look really silly, which I enjoy. I enjoy drawing creatures that look really silly from the front. Oh, alright. I'm gonna need a drink. Give me a sec. Alright, I'm back. It's so cold that my tea is like ice cold already. It's not a nice tea to have iced, but oh well. Okay, this actually needs to move over here because the body is back here in this frame. There we go. Alright. Just by chance, but can you do Mega Man next? I know very little about Mega Man. Probably not, unfortunately. Like, I only want to really cover topics that I know well, and unfortunately, I don't really know Mega Man that well. I don't think I've actually ever played a single Mega Man game. Gonna be honest. I know there's like several Mega Man games though, so I don't even know which one I would start with. I've got a lot of games on my plate that I just don't know if I'll ever get the chance to play. Am I gonna animate more legendary Pokemon in the future? Possibly. I've got a few lined up that I've been thinking about potentially doing a sequel to Pokemon vs. Power World that includes legendaries, but I honestly do not know. Like, I think I just need to wait for more updates and more stuff to happen, because like Pokemon's got several years of stuff to work with, whereas Power World only really has like just a few like they've only been out for half a year, so they've still got to build up a lot of stuff. So if I was to ever make a new Pokemon vs. Power World, I would need it to essentially for Power World to maybe on full release, if they have like a good lineup of legendaries, then I could have like a legendary battle. But the other thing is, legendaries are extremely difficult to animate just because of how complex they are. So, like, I would love to do something like that, but yeah, it really depends on how the legendaries look. Because, like, I guess the power legendaries, they don't look too complicated. But if you look at, like, a Pokemon like Arceus is just incredibly... There's just so many elements on Arceus. And if I was to animate Arceus going against maybe like, okay, Jetragon, for example, that's still a lot of moving pieces on Jetragon that I need to do. And although Power Worlds, the designs of the legendaries in Power World are not complicated per se, they just have a lot of effects on them that is just a lot of layering effects that I just don't know if I can do at the moment with my skills in animation, because that's an entirely different department that I would need to work on. And don't get me started if I was to ever animate like Rayquaza or something like that. This video will have Ho-Oh in it though. So that's the legendary Pokemon of this one. This version of the Pokemon Unite experience is going to be less focused on individual Pokemon, just because there hasn't really been anything super broken this last year. It's mostly just been issues with the actual game itself, which this one's going to focus more on the individual problems of the game. So voice chat, people not following what path they set for themselves, and essentially just Lucario getting beat up a lot. So this one's just going to focus more. It's going to have a few Pokemon, and I am going to include Ho-Oh because it is the new hot Pokemon, I guess. So I'll put Ho-Oh in, and I'll put a few others in, but mostly this one's going to focus more on the player base rather than the actual mons themselves. Or at least that's the idea anyway. Is it Arceus or is it Arceus? I honestly... The Pokemon Company has said it both ways, so I don't know. I'm just going to pronounce it how I want to pronounce it. Or I can just please both parties, and I'm just going to call it Arceus. Alrighty, almost getting there. Okay. Oops. Hang on, okay, so the line, yeah. I mean, I've heard Nintendo pronounce it both ways, so I don't actually know if it's pronounced Arceus or Arceus, because it seems like both. They're saying it both ways. Oh, welcome back, Resh. Is it pronounced Arceus or Arceus or Arceus? Oh, I'm getting a phone call. Alright, give me 1 sec, I'll be back. Alright, I'm back, sorry. What have we got? Alright. Arcus. Arcus. Oh my gosh. Alright. Alright, thank you, Weekend Warrior. Have a good time. Have a good day. Alright, see you later. Thanks for joining the stream. Okay, let's get back to animating. Almost finished. Alrighty, I'm going to move these arms down by 1 frame. Alright, bye-bye. Catch you guys later. Thanks for joining. Alright, I'm gonna hop off soon myself as well. I'm just gonna finish this off and then we'll be done. Alrighty. Okay, let's see how that works. Nice. Alright, I'm just gonna quickly tween this slightly to the right. And then I'm actually going to make these frames faster. Yeah, I like the holding over your head. There we go. Okay. Well, I think that's all I'm going to do today. So, I'll quickly go over what we did. I'll play what we did today one more time. And then I'm going to hop off. Alright. So, let's see what we got. One of the layers hidden. One of the layers is still hidden. Hang on, where does this arm go? Okay, there we go. Nice! I'm happy with that. So in a good 3 hours, we got about 5 seconds of animation done. It's not even colored yet. But, oh well, yeah. Alright, cool. So, thanks so much for joining, everyone. If you want to keep up with us, or keep up with me, you can join our Discord server, link in the description. And yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. I'll see you later.